My name is Ethan Carter, and this happened in New Orleans, Louisiana, in October 2024. I travel a lot for work. Most of the time I stay in large hotels because they're usually safe, well lit, and full of people. That's why what happened to me still doesn't make sense. I had booked a room in the historic French Quarter. The hotel was old, very old, the kind of place with creaky wooden floors, antique mirrors, and hallways that seemed darker than they should be. The front desk clerk was a middle-aged man named Robert. When he handed me my key card, he smiled and said something strange. "You're in room 412. If you hear knocking from room 413, ignore it." I laughed. He didn't. For a moment, he just stared at me. Then he said, "Seriously, don't answer it." I figured it was some weird local joke. Around 11 p.m., I returned to my room after dinner. The hallway was completely empty. As I walked toward room 412, I noticed room 413. A thick metal chain was wrapped around the door handles. There was also a faded warning sign hanging from the knob. The room looked abandoned. I stood there for a second, confused. Then I went inside my room and locked the door. At exactly 2:17 a.m., I woke up. Knock, knock, knock. 3 slow knocks. I sat up immediately. The sound came from the hallway. Then I heard it again. Knock, knock, knock. It sounded like someone was knocking on the door right next to mine. Room 413. I remembered Robert's warning and rolled my eyes. Some guest was probably drunk. I tried to go back to sleep. Then I heard a woman's voice. Soft, barely audible. "Please, help me." Every hair on my body stood up. The voice sounded terrified, like someone trapped behind a door. I got out of bed and pressed my ear against my room door. Silence. Then, "Please let me out." The voice came directly from room 413. I looked through the peephole. The hallway was empty. No one was there. No staff, no guests, nothing. I should have gone back to bed. Instead, curiosity got the better of me. I opened my door. The hallway lights flickered. The air felt cold. Much colder than before. I slowly walked toward room 413. The chain was still wrapped round the handles. No one could have gone inside. Yet the voice continued. "Help me." I leaned closer. And then I noticed something. The chain wasn't moving. The door wasn't moving. But there was a shadow beneath the door. A human-shaped shadow. Standing perfectly still. On the other side, I took a step back. The shadow moved. Not toward me. Toward the door. Slowly, as if it had just realized I was there. My heart started pounding. I turned and walked quickly back toward room 412. Then the knocking started again. This time louder, much louder, bang, bang, bang. The entire hallway echoed. I rushed into my room and locked the door. For the next 20 minutes, the banging continued. Then suddenly, silence. Complete silence. The next morning I went downstairs. Robert was standing behind the desk. Before I could say anything, he asked, "You heard it, didn't you?" I nodded. His face turned pale. Then he told me something I'll never forget. 20 years earlier, a woman named Sarah Mitchell had disappeared in room 413. She had checked into the hotel alone. Security cameras showed her entering the room. But she never came out. Police searched the building. The room, the roof, everywhere. No trace. No body. Nothing. After that, guests began reporting strange sounds. Knocking, whispers, crying. People claimed they saw a woman standing in the hallway late at night, always near room 413. Management eventually sealed the room. Nobody had stayed there in nearly 2 decades. I laughed nervously. There has to be an explanation. Robert didn't answer. Instead, He slid a newspaper clipping across the counter. It showed a black and white photograph. Missing woman, Sarah Mitchell. October 2004. I felt my stomach drop, because I recognized her. She was the woman I had seen the night before. Not clearly, but enough. When I looked through the peephole at 2:17 a.m., there had been a face. Just for a second. A pale face staring directly at me. I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. The woman in the photograph was the same person. I checked out immediately. I told myself it was all coincidence, stress, lack of sleep, an overactive imagination. A month later, I received an email from the hotel. The subject line read, "Regarding your stay." I opened it. There was only one attachment, a security camera image. Timestamp 2:17 a.m. The hallway outside room 412. The hotel manager wrote, "We reviewed old footage after your report. We thought you should see this." I zoomed in. The hallway was empty, except for one thing. Standing directly behind me, only inches away, was a woman. Long dark hair, white dress, pale face, looking straight into the camera. The image quality was terrible, but I knew exactly who it was. Sarah Mitchell, the missing woman from room 413. I deleted the email. I deleted the image. And I have never returned to New Orleans. But sometimes, at exactly 2:17 a.m., my phone vibrates. No caller ID, no number, just silence. And then 3 slow knocks. Knock, knock.